It's definitely been a while, but I am back with a new video. Hello guys, one more time, welcome to Ring Royalty. My name is Alexis, as you already know, and here today I will be reviewing Extreme Rules 2022. That is WWE's latest pay-per-view that just happened this past weekend. We had two women's matches, but there were some other very interesting participation of women during the show, and I'm gonna talk about all of that here today. Don't forget to let me know down in the comments what was your opinion about each of the things that happened, women's wrestling related of course. Without anything left to say, let's start with today's video. The first women's match of the night was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Liv Morgan defending the title against Ronda Rousey. This is the third time we see these two square off for the SmackDown Women's title in the span of 6 months, but I'm pretty sure this was the end game of the rivalry. I hope so at least. The build up to this match was way nicer than the previous encounters. I think it was pretty clear that Liv Morgan was the underdog coming into this match despite being the champion, and if you want to see a video about underdog champions, you can watch it over here. I did a top 10, but let's get back to the point. It was made clear that Liv Morgan had a point to prove in this match, and this did feel personal. It was very personal from both ends. I think Ronda just wanted to destroy Liv Morgan once and for all, while Liv tried to prove that her two victories over Ronda weren't flukes. That being said, I gotta start critiquing, cause I don't know if it's just me, but I just don't think Ronda and Liv have good chemistry in the ring together. This was the third match they had in a Premium Live event, and something seems off, and you could tell that the crowd, even though they were interested in what was happening in the ring most of the time, there were some awkward silences and pauses because at times the offense does look very weak and even fake, and I'm not sure if it is Ronda who's not executing most of the maneuvers correctly, or on the other end Liv ain't selling that well. But then there's other moments that they just shine, so I'm not sure what is it. I will blame it on the chemistry, just like I said before. There were some quite nice spots, but overall I don't think this match stood up that much. I mean, it was an Extreme Rules match, I get it. We don't really get those that much anymore, but I don't know, like something wasn't clicking. It wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't something memorable, let's be honest. I really enjoyed that spot with the fire extinguisher, Liv Morgan thinking she got the upper hand on Ronda just to beat Piper's Pit on the floor and almost breaking her neck. I love that. Ronda was definitely booked as a threat, and Liv Morgan was just thriving to find a way to defeat the baddest women on the planet. Storytelling was great, the execution wasn't that great. Nonetheless, there were some very weak spots. When Ronda Rousey was hitting Liv with the bat outside the ring, the hits didn't really look that well. The same happened with the chair shots Liv executed against Ronda inside the ring, until she finally fixed that spot with the Jersey code breaker using the chair to break Ronda Rousey's face. That was nice. But the other things that I just mentioned, they weren't nice at all. The only spot besides the code breaker that I remember is obviously Liv Morgan diving senton through the table on Ronda, and that was great. I think it was a very nice spot. For a second I thought Liv Morgan was going to miss the senton, but she did not. Obviously, I knew it wasn't going to be the end of the match, but it was a cute fake ending or false ending to keep everyone on the edge of their seat. The way that then Liv Morgan powerbombed Ronda when she tried to lock in the armbar, that was also super nice. But then everything got a little bit weirder when Ronda Rousey was trying to execute something. I'm not even sure if she was looking for the armbar or she was trying something different, but there was like a minute there where nobody really knew what was going on, and that messy spot led to these variation of a head scissors that Ronda did, who would end up putting Liv Morgan to sleep and giving Ronda the second SmackDown Women's Championship of her career. The ending was shocking because I wasn't expecting the match to end that way. It was a bit anticlimactic because it wasn't that big of an ending. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I have mixed feelings about this match, and especially the ending. Once again, the ending of all of these Ronda against Liv matches always gets me conflicted. So we've got the baddest women on the planet as the top of the mountain in the SmackDown Women's division once again, and Liv Morgan going for a different character. Is she going crazy now? She looked very delusional, smiling after losing the championship instead of crying like she would normally do. So I'm guessing that Liv Morgan, in her mind, thinks that she proved something by stepping into the ring against Ronda in an Extreme Rules match. So was the point proven, or where's this storyline going? I'm very curious to see if Liv Morgan is going to turn into something darker, crazier, because that will be a great fit for her. I think she has been craving for a delusional character for a while now. Do you remember those vignettes with her in the bathtub that it looked like they were going somewhere and then they were nowhere? Hopefully this time around, under Triple H's wing, Liv can break a glass ceiling and become something even bigger, because that's what she needs, character development. This match was fine. It wasn't the greatest. I was really expecting for someone to interfere, I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting Shayna maybe to make an appearance and finally team up with Ronda, maybe Charlotte Flair returning to cost Ronda the match, but none of the above happened. Even Naomi or Sasha could have been there involved somehow. Ronda against Liv Morgan was a very nice match, but if you didn't watch it, you didn't really miss anything spectacular. It was just an okay match. Let's see what's going to happen with Liv Morgan now, and hopefully Ronda Rousey doesn't have a lengthy title reign. And Ronda has buried most of the ladies on SmackDown already, like Xia Li, Lacey Evans, Natalya, so who is actually there to look as a believable threat or contender for Ronda? That's the question. The only name that comes to mind is Raquel Rodriguez, but what happens when she's out of the picture? Who's left? I guess we'll have to tune in on SmackDown this Friday and find out. And now let's go to the second and last women's match of the night. It was for the Raw Women's Championship this time around, the EST Bianca Belair defending the title against Bayley. This definitely was the complete opposite of Liv against Ronda. While the first one lacked very memorable spots, this was a super spotty match and all of the spots really deliver. If you compare the crowd's reaction between these two matches, Bianca and Bayley definitely grabbed the ball and ran away with it because they deliver amazingly. For me, this match proved that Bayley has become such an entertaining heel ever since her return. I do remember the first couple promos she got when she first turned heel back in 2019. They were awful, dreadful, and now she's so comfortable in her own skin, mocking everyone, fighting with the commentators, fighting with the crowd, even grabbing one of the fans' signs and mocking it. Bayley's pure gold as a heel now. She's super entertaining and I'm loving her as the leader of Damage Control. She's so great. Bianca Belair, on the other hand, once again displaying her unreal athleticism. This match was way longer than Ronda against Liv, but it didn't feel boring at any point and it didn't have awkward silences either. And considering this was a ladder match and there were so many different moments where both of them were lying on the ground or one was trying to set up the ladder, there was more room for these awkward silences, but the crowd was so invested that this didn't happen and I am super happy. Let's stop rambling and go through spots because we love spots. The first one was Bayley hitting a sunset flip bomb against Bianca when she collided against the ladder on the turnbuckle. That looked devastating. That was the first big spot that we had in that match. And to follow that up, Bayley did that diving elbow from the apron onto Bianca, who was lying on a ladder at ringside. Oh my god, that looked devastating. Both Bayley and Bianca screamed their lungs out after that spot because it really looked like it hurt. The commentators were highlighting how this was the first ever ladder match for a WWE Women's Championship, and considering this is another first ever, I do think this actually felt historic, important, and they were so creative with the spots, not only using ladders, but the environment as a whole. So I have to give kudos to whoever was the producer for this match. It was very well produced. Something else that I love was the fact that they highlighted how Bianca Belair had no allies. Alexa and Asuka were injured this past edition of Raw, so for that reason Bianca was there on her own, while Bayley still had Dakota and Io, who made their appearance after Bianca hit a KOD on Bayley. This was a very smart booking decision because the heels teaming up against the champion is just a great concept. And then Bianca Belair entering this Super John Cena phase where she has to go against the world. It made perfect sense and it was chef's kiss. The best part was when Bianca Belair hit a double KOD on Io and Dakota to get them both out of the picture. After her allies were gone, Bayley hit Bianca in the back of the neck with a ladder trying to get the championship, but Bianca wasn't done. And that led to another great moment when both of them were on each end of the ladder and the braid was used again. First Bayley used it to get Bianca down, and then Bianca used it to hit Bayley. I love that, reminiscent from Bianca's match against Sasha Banks at WrestleMania last year, destroying and marking Bayley's back with her braid. And then Bianca hit a massive KOD, which was reinforced by the piece of ladder Bayley was holding. I think she busted her mouth after falling to the mat. That looked super devastating, and obviously she wasn't going to get up after that maneuver. For that reason, Bianca got all the time in the world to climb the ladder, grab the championship, and that's why she still is the Raw Women's Champion. Such a fantastic ending. This match was great from top to bottom. I have absolutely nothing to critique here. Bianca Belair really looked like an unbeatable champion, and she's one of the best baby faces the women's division had in a long while. Bayley also played her part to perfection. I'm convinced that both of these ladies had a standout performance and they have to be recognized for that. I am really curious to see where we're going now. Is Bianca going to keep feuding with Damage Control, or are both sides going to be in separate storylines from now on? We'll have to wait and see what's gonna happen, but this was definitely one of the best matches of the night. Male or female matches. It was fantastic, it was incredible, and it's definitely one for the ages. Before closing in this review, I know there is not another women's match, but we got an interesting participation during the I Quit match between Edge and Finn Balor. Obviously, Rhea Ripley got involved because she's part of the Judgment Day. She handcuffed Edge to the rope and then kept the key. Rhea is so deliciously heelish ever since coming back from injury, and I'm loving every second of it. However, Beth Phoenix was not happy with this Rhea's interference and got herself involved in the match as well. This was a badass return for Beth, destroying both Finn Balor and Damian Priest with the kendo stick, scaring Dominic Mysterio out of the ring, and then having a stare down with Rhea Ripley herself, both Amazons in the middle of the ring going at it. This was something a lot of fans were expecting since that small tease of Rhea against Beth Phoenix a couple weeks back on Raw. This was another very well thought moment. Beth Phoenix spearing Rhea Ripley, getting the key of the handcuff, freeing her husband, and then just to be... However, the numbers proved to be too much for the couple, and they were destroyed by the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley hit Beth Phoenix with brass knuckles, and then Edge was forced to say "I quit" when Rhea Ripley threatened to hit Beth Phoenix with 2 chairs, doing a concerto. And I am sure that this is leading to something even bigger for the next pay-per-view or the next couple pay-per-views, as Beth Phoenix being the reason why Edge say "I quit" is a very clever way to keep Beth Phoenix involved in this feud. Obviously, as the Judgment Day are completely heel mode now ever since Triple H took over, Rhea Ripley destroyed Beth Phoenix with the 2 chairs anyways, even if the match was already over, because that's what heels do, and that's the heels that we need. The ones that are not scared to go above and beyond just to prove their point. I am really hoping that we get Beth Phoenix against Rhea Ripley in a one-on-one match somewhere down the line, or even if it's a mixed tag team match between Edge and Beth against probably Rhea and Dominic or whoever that is from the Judgment Day, I wouldn't care. But I just want to see these two square off in the ring in an official match. That would be a banger for sure. And something else that happened was we didn't really get Charlotte's return. A lot of sources were reporting that Charlotte would be returning at Extreme Rules. It did not happen, but we did get a promo package basically summarizing everything that Charlotte has done ever since joining WWE. We know she's a 13-time women's champion, she ended Asuka's undefeated streak, and she was portrayed as basically the face of the women's division. So I'm curious if this is just a reminder of how great Charlotte is, or this was a small tease because we are very soon to see the Queen back in a WWE ring. Because I really think Charlotte's star power is needed on SmackDown especially, but we will see what happens. Overall, this was a very pleasant pay-per-view to watch on the women's wrestling side of things. Alright, so this was my review for Extreme Rules 2022. As I said at the beginning of the video, let me know down in the comments what is your opinion about this whole Premium Live event. And I have to admit that this is the first time the Extreme Rules pay-per-view actually feels extreme, because when was the last time we actually got a stipulation match in this Premium Live event? I can't even remember. Hope that you like this review. I know I took longer than usual to upload another video. It's been almost a month, but I've been struggling with some mental health issues because you know the struggle is real and everybody really needs some time off every now and then. Anyways, I'm gonna try to keep posting more often from now on. My name is Alexis, as you already know. Here is my Instagram if you want to follow me or anything, and I will see you guys on the next video. Stay safe. Goodbye.